Some other fantastic tournament organisers we should talk about are DreamHack.
Yes.
And
looking forward to
they've
DreamHack.
got their own major this year.
Yes.
Did they have one last year?
They had one last year.
Oh, yeah, because there were loads of majors
It was
last
before
year.
Christmas last year.
But this major, it feels more significant.
It does, because
there's
there's only 5.
Only 5 in a year. The points are, we're getting to that point where teams are qualifying, and now...
Secret already there.
Yeah.
First Pro already there. 10 spots left.
Yeah, and it's getting close now. This is down to the wire now. Teams that want to go to TI need to be doing well.
They need to step up. Yeah. And don't forget, I think one top 4 finish for a team who aren't currently in the top 10 could almost be enough this season, depending on consistency.
Yeah.
So a team like NIP, for instance, might already be qualified.
Well, the difference with DreamLeague will be, whereas we've seen teams, say, between ESL1 and MDL Macau, now they're all going to be. Yeah. All the top teams are going to be back again.
Almost all of them.
So who are we missing? We've already got...
There's a few qualifiers that aren't there yet. Notably, see if you can spot the most obvious one. There are 2 from Europe. There's 1 from CIS, 1 from Europe.
So, no Gambit.
Correct.
Who will have to play in the minors,
yes, they are in the minor, yeah.
And...
I think they lost, actually, in the minor qualifier, but I'll have to check that. There's a big one there.
Where's Vici Gaming?
Yeah,
but that's
China. Chinese. They're not there yet either.
Wow. What am I missing then?
OG.
Oh, no, OG.
Yeah, just the TI winners.
I've gotten used to not seeing them
just
at the
TI
major.
Winners.
Sorry.
Yeah, Keen actually qualified ahead of Vici.
Wow.
In China. Other than that, you kind of look at it and go, yeah, all right, no problem. I mean, Forward are in there again. Fnatic are in there again. Chaos are in there, which is good. Infamous in there, which is really good for them. That's because of the 2 South American spots now. EG, obviously, Mineski. J-Storm. Don't always qualify for everything as well, because that's a different team. It's not the J-Storm that were there last year. Last year, J-Storm are Forward, but they're also there. And then LGD home, they've been the strongest 2 so far this season of all of the Chinese teams. I'm not surprised to not see Asta there. And then the usual suspects of Secret, Liquid, Virtus Pro, and Ninjas in Pyjamas. So I don't think it's... And Navi's the other one, by the way, that got through the CIS qualifiers, which I think is still a good thing, because you've got Virtus Pro back in the qualifiers now. So when they qualified last year for a major, people were like, it's because Virtus Pro, they don't have to qualify, and they're always in... Well, no. Now they have to play them now, and they have to beat all the other ones. And that, they've got No Pangolier down there, they've got Gambit, they've got Windstrike, they've got some really competitive teams in that CIS region. It's probably one of the toughest out there right now, with 2 spots. That's as many as South America have. That's tough. That's a really tough region. So credit to Na'Vi to get out of that, because they have been playing better. They're not quite back. I don't want to do the whole Na'Vi is back meme.
They have a good team, though.
But they have a good team. But I don't think expectations are particularly high for them at the major either. So they could be a dark horse, could be a little surprise run. From them.
It's all up in the air.
I like it. Love it.
Oh, mid-season, best time of the year.
It is so good. It's that excitement that builds towards the qualifier. Do you know what I really love? And this is kind of a sadistic Dota 2 frame of mind, I think. I love the qualifiers for TI.
Okay. So the open qualifiers?
Yeah, because... I mean, I liked it back in the day when Too Good did a lot of stuff, and I know you went over and spent some time with James.
Oh, yeah.
I like the juxtapose position that you have of very casual talent, cats and stuff running around, and BTS House, for instance, doing it in the past as well. I love that Moonduck as well. Shout out to all the boys that do the Dota stuff. I love that casual kind of, we're chilling, we're chillaxing, we're just having some fun, we're playing some Mafia, we're chilling out with each other, we're listening to music, we're discussing stuff, we're all in civilian clothing, we're not getting tarted up for it. Set against the portrait of, holy fuck, I might not be able to go to TI. Do you know what I mean? It's like, holy shit, look, that's big stuff. Like, you go to TI, don't win a game, you come home with 60 grand. That's what happens. It's the biggest payday of your year, even if you're terrible, right? It's just about getting there. And those open qualifiers are like, I talk about do or die a lot when we're in the lower bracket of tournaments. There is no bigger definition of do or die than the lower bracket of your regional open qualifier to get to TI.
The coverage you would get as a team if you make it there.
Absolutely.
The biggest event in esports.
Yeah, absolutely. So I sadistically love them because they provide that weird juxtapose of the casual and the... this is life-changing stuff potentially for people to go in. Look at OG qualify. They nearly didn't qualify last year, and then they win TI.
Yeah.
Someone should tell that story.
But you know what? It's changed over the years. So I started doing hubs back in 2014.
14, yeah, TI4.
15, 16, I did it as well. But back then, the qualifiers didn't seem as important because the field wasn't split so far.
I would agree with that. I think last year it was probably, I think 6 is where it started, that it became a bit more like, whoa.
Yeah, all of a sudden these teams who you don't look at every day, they actually impress the hell out of you when you see them play, and you think, oh my God, this is scary now. And obviously the main story is OG coming up from the qualifiers and winning it. Yeah. If OG,
I think they're the only open qualifier team to have ever won TI.
But they were in a very special circumstance. They're knocked into there because of the loss of their players. So slightly different.
They wouldn't have qualified anyway.
Yeah, but
they weren't inside.
Oh, so they would have had to qualify either way.
They would have had to qualify anyway.
Yeah. So what we're going to see this year is more of the same. It's teams in the qualifier who have a chance.
Although we'll have 12 teams guaranteed a spot at TI this year from the DPC.
Yeah.
Which is different to what we had last year, was 8. So
12, less open spots.
Yeah, so less open spots. In theory, you could still do 8 open spots and make it a 20-team TI.
I think more likely they'll do 6 because they'll go for 18 with two knockouts.
Yeah. Or they'll do 2. I think last year we did 2 leagues of 9 last year. So we actually had 9 teams, but 2 get eliminated then from the group stage. They still get to play there and they still go to TI, but they get eliminated in the group stages.
Yeah.
But they could do that with 10 teams in both as well, right? So that's why I think maybe it'll be 8. We'll have 12 invites, and then we have 8 qualifiers from around the world.
Okay.
And they can balance it a little bit easier. And then we have 10 teams in each league during the main event, and 8 go through from each league. So there's 2 knocked out in each.
Yeah, I mean, we don't know.
I have no idea. But it could be 32 teams this year.
But it's all coming up so soon upon us. It's coming so soon.
But before we get there, WESG, which I'll be not watching, and DreamLeague, which I'll be definitely watching.
Yeah. All right. Well, I think that's it for now. That's our Dota roundup. This was a very Dota heavy show.
Very heavy Dota show.
Yeah, we're gonna have
good.
to.
Dota's good.